The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Fly motherfucking name Mellroz, big shape heroes. He went from nothing to something, niggas keep frontin'. Play in the background, hop on the whack rappers, put this shit back down. Mellroz and he back now. He ain't ever been nowhere, but he back down like nigga what? Hey, you ever wonder what's going on tonight? I'll call my homie, man. I got dips on D-neck. Pick up, nigga. Pick up. This nigga on his own. Fuck it, I'm dolo. Jumping on my whip, phone on flip. Shit about to start buzzing before I leave my hip. Hello, what's up? Now I'm headed to the club. I got a bunch of bitches with me, they all want to buzz. I got two on each arm, chain with no charm. Shake a nigga hand, $100 in palm. Full of toolie on me, I'm feeling kinda pockets. Liquor in her throat, yeah, that's a rock, bitch. I stand on tables so I can feel taller like. Y'all niggas stole money to feel baller. I don't dance, I clap. Bitches get low, models on my bottle. They scraping the dollars off the flow. Here we go, bump and blow. Shit about to get stupid, you already know. It's a birthday, I'm about to take flight. It's a party, I'ma let you rock the mic. I'ma let you rock the mic. Best night of your life, baby, rock the mic. I'ma let you rock the mic. Say, I'ma let you rock the mic. Best night of your life, get your shit right. Yeah, I'ma let you rock the mic. Say, I'ma let you rock the mic. The best night of your life, baby, rock the mic.
Yes, indeed.
That's my shoulder off. Welcome, world, what's up?
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
How y'all doing out there, man? We are live and direct this peaceful Monday morning. You are still rocking with the 3.5 Kings. We are sorry we missed you last weekend.
Big facts.
But that's just the way life happens sometimes. I will admit it was my fault.
Yes, indeed.
I was up all night with the newborn from about 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. And at 8:15, I was out until 2 p.m. It was that kind of morning for me.
We let it slide. We let it slide.
Thank you.
But you know, just listening to that song, it was crazy because I remember not last week, but the week before, Zion was like, "It is low key crazy having your pops as a rapper." And I was in the car with my shorty, and I was playing her the new music that the homies been dropping that we've been facilitating. Mm-hmm. And I played her one song, and I'm like, "Dang, did I ever tell you my dad a rapper?" And she like, nah, I'm like, well, this crazy because this is the song my pop's supposed to get on. But just to say, like, my dad's a rapper, like, it's interesting.
It's not really so much that your father's a rapper. He is an all-around entertainer. I'm an entertainer. I'm of the old school dance, sing, act.
The dance part?
I got my. I mean,
the dance part?
I'm speaking in terms of like I'm kind of like a triple threat out here. I'm not a rapper, but if you put a band on, I can grab the mic and rock the crowd. Speaking of which, this past weekend I was invited to at Media Day for the Taste of Soul with the goddamn band, and I rocked L.A. for Channel 11 News.
Oh, word.
Oh yeah, it was dope. Super dope.
Oh, that's okay.
Rocked the Getty Center, had them all out there. Los Angeles.
That was this weekend I just passed?
That was this Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty cool. Well, I had a really good weekend, actually.
Okay,
a lot of things transpired that we will probably get into the depth of
thoroughly
coming up. But I had a pretty good weekend. I'm happy with the direction that the shop is going, and everything's going pretty good, man.
Cool. I myself this last weekend, I worked that Saturday, so I didn't go to none my cousin game or Stockton's game. Mm-hmm. This last weekend, well, Sunday, I had a great Sunday. I was cooling, but the weekend before that, Friday, I went to the Mike Epps comedy show. Mm. I was able to see Earthquake and Bruce.
Bruce.
It's crazy too. Like when you see somebody like doing their thing, but they been to Black Hollywood, so you in the crowd like, baby, he be at Black Hollywood.
Yeah.
I know, bro. So that's, I had that little.
Who are you talking about?
Earthquake,
yes,
yeah.
no doubt. Shout out Earthquake.
Dude,
did
funny.
slide by.
Yeah.
Black Hollywood post pivot for a long time. Ate in the back, chilled. You know what I mean?
And he did he had a little set at Black Hollywood too when they did that little comedy jam.
No.
Nah.
No.
That wasn't Earthquake?
You're thinking about what's the OG name? It wasn't Earthquake though.
Nah.
No. You're thinking Hurricane.
You're thinking
Hurricane.
Okay.
I know it all had to do with the elements of the earth.
Right.
Hurricane.
And they low-key look alike, too.
Not at all.
Nah?
Not at all.
Maybe it's because he was on stage and I was low-key far. I was like, that's him.
You don't have your glasses. We could,
ever. So.
We could chalk that up to that. That's like light skin and dark skin.
Oh.
Afro and bald head. Like it's just
not the same.
Yeah.
But Mike Epps was dope.
Yeah?
Mad OG in the game. And it was cool seeing the OG do his thing, you know what I mean, and his content. And to see that he came with, he did a little old stuff that we already heard before, but it was just fillers.
Yeah.
His old stuff was just fillers. But he had a lot of new content. And this about the scenario with him and Kevin Hart?
I don't know exactly the whole thing about it, but I know Mike Epps is always taking shots at Kevin Hart.
Well, this time Kevin Hart was speaking on Cat Williams and Mike Epps like drug use and all that. And Mike Epps like, bro, as a real one in the game, like one, you was at my dinner table before. You know what I'm saying? I was never at your dinner table, and this was before you even got your bread and all that. So once you get to a certain place, like niggas, that's an out to the jar.
You all
out to the jar. But people can't be and the way he put it is gatekeepers and facilitators and turning into the police when people was in the entertainment business. So, I feel Mike Epps coming from the OG perspective and, trying to hold it down.
That's what it's like for a lot of comics out here, man. It's a lot of gatekeepers that try to keep the funny cats away from the promoters, away from the shows, away from the managers. You know what I mean? And like I can personally say I've seen that and faced it a lot of times in the game. And I've been a person, if anybody could say, like, when I had the opportunity, I put you up. Good, bad, ugly. And this goes back all the way to this Sharon. I've put up some of the worst talent just because everybody gets a shot at the stage. And I've always been that kind of person. And I see, like, when cats who was first starting or coming back or whatever they be doing shows, I was the first person. Hey, man, come on, I got you. Oh, such and such said you was that person. Hey, you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? And when I see them putting on shows and doing their productions, nobody ever called me. Nobody ever calls me. And it's not because I think I'm a hard to work with person or that I be bombing. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times fools just don't want funny people around. Right. And that's a sad part of the game, I think. And that's in all parts of the game. Hip hop, acting, everything, man. Facts. People don't want to see real talent because they feel like you're going to take something from me. And I always feel like you add more by me doing that, added more to me than took away from me. Right. You know what I'm saying? I always think you should give somebody a shot, man. If you're standing in front of the gate, don't be a hater. Open the gate up. You know what I'm saying? Let a brother through the line.
And two, if you can't open the front door, tell him, hey, man, get to the side door. Yeah. I'm going to open the side door for you because at the end of the day, we see the same faces on the movie scenes. We see the same faces on the comedian scene and on the music scene. And at this point, it's almost getting watered down.
It is watered down. Not almost. It is watered down. Everybody out there boyfriend and girlfriending each other. You know what I'm saying? If you're not in a certain clique or you don't hang around certain people, it's just like they're not even trying to listen or hear, you know what I mean? And they know who you are. And that's the cool part about the game. Everybody knows everybody. So when you say somebody's name, it automatically ring a bell. You know what I mean? So
Kevin Hart, open the doors, man. Stop being like that.
So you think Kevin Hart is a person that's not opening the doors for other people?
It might not be in the sense of not opening the doors for other people. It's just that he's taking on a gatekeeping role and a police role. And that's not from my experience. That's just from listening to a OG in the game explain his perspective and the scenario dealing with that particular person. He like, this particular person right here is a gatekeeper, and he the police, and he cry victim. And when you get to a certain level of position and power, you got to knock all that, and you got to really start moving and acknowledging people that paved the way.
I think Kevin Hart is providing a lot of opportunity for up and coming comics out here, and I think that's one of the most important things. It's about bringing up the cast that's under you. Now, everybody who then kind of like had they shot or then had they chance, like if you didn't shot your wop, you shot your wop already. It ain't really much I could do with the relationships you got in the field. You know what I mean? It's not much I could do for you. I mean, you helped me out at some point, but at this, you already made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's definitely not a scenario of Mike Epps shooting his wop out. He ain't shoot his wop out yet. You know what I'm saying? He's still an OG in the game, and he just did a movie with Eddie Murphy.
That's dope.
And his whole thing is the way I made that happen was I called him. Say, hey, Eddie, you doing the movie? He said, yeah, I want to fuck with you. I said, for sure. And he like, and that's just how it's supposed to be.
And it is supposed to be like that sometimes.
Facts.
It's not going to be like that all the time, though.
True. Shout out to them both, though.
Tell me about the Drake concert. What was that like?
Wow, Drake concert was lit. We missed the whole Migos set because it was super last minute. Shout out to Trip, though. Trip held it down.
Who is Trip?
Trip is the Ticket Man.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm about to cut his hair today.
Yeah, Trip the Ticket Man. And he stayed out there, man. Shout out Trip. He stayed out there like an extra hour because TJ be bullshitting, taking forever, and he drives slow as hell in his new Benz. So shout out to Trip for standing, you know what I'm saying, right next to the box office, slid our tickets, and then we was in there. We missed the whole Migos section, but Drake did his thing. And as a performer, he go hard.
Yeah?
He goes hard. And two, I was ready to go. It was like 2 hours, and I'm like, wow, we won't stop singing songs. Y'all want more? Yeah, no. I'm tired.
Nobody does that. You were ready to leave?
I was ready to leave.
It was cracking?
It was I was on my feet the whole, it was dang near like, I want to sit down. Every song made me stand up. Every song made me stand up.
That's litty.
It was litty. I'm not saying it was.
Rock that.
It was litty. I was tired, though. I had a whole day in the shop. Then went straight there. And we didn't leave till like 12:30, 1 o'clock. Got there at like 10, 9:45.
Them the kind of concerts you want to be at. I'd have been to some concerts where it was like, I'm ready to go. Because it's not going so well.
Nah, it was lit. It was lit. I was just tired.
What's a Drake concert like, though? I've never been. I've never seen him perform. Is it a lot of theatrics? Is it, you know what I'm saying?
No. It's not like what you hear about Kanye West. It's not that. I mean, his stage was hella theatrical. Like, his stage had women swimming in the stage. Had like, it was like an ocean. It was different. It was the sky on certain songs. Like, it was a stupid vibe. But he just had, basically, it was at the Staples Center, and where the basketball court would be is where his stage was. But it was probably like 10 feet off the ground. He on top of it, and it was a full court length stage that had mad graphics in it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that was, he had fireworks inside the Staples Center.
Fireworks?
Yeah, fireworks.
Going off?
And did he have fire? I don't think he had fire, but he had fireworks, he had smoke.
Somebody said it was cars floating around.
It was a car, it was a Lambo floating. I forgot about that. It was a yellow Lambo floating over the crowd.
Oh,
big facts. And Cardi B came out.
She rocked?
Cracking. Everybody went bananas for her. But it was crazy because she came out right after the Nicki Minaj, Lil Drake song. Nicki didn't come out, though. You know, they got a little beef going on over there.
I didn't know that. Nicki and Cardi
B. Yeah.
Who got the fakest ass? What's the problem?
I don't know, but I think Nicki hating. I think that's the scenario.
Because Cardi is kind of blown up. What did you think about Cardi's performance? Is she
was cracking. She had high energy. She jumping in her heels and all that. And then, you know, her and Offset together.
Yeah.
So that was a cool little. And then, you know, the Migos came out to help with certain songs that they got with Drake. So that was flavorful. Just to see the Migo, Quavo, Offset, I forget other bro name, Takeoff. They was fly. They was swaggy. They had Playboy Cardi and somebody else come out, but Lil Baby.
who would you say in your era is the swaggiest leader in your generation? Who is the swaggiest guy of your generation? This was something that Zion was talking to me about, and he asked me this question. Who would I say is the swaggiest person that led my generation? And I really couldn't come up with one person.
Yeah, one person.
Yeah.
That's a
Give me 5. Who are the 5 swaggiest cats from your league? 5 swaggies.
Well, from the west side, I think
Any side, just swag. Your era, we kind of mimic this style sometimes. Like, who would be the swaggiest?
I would say Nip. Nip is mad swaggy.
Okay.
I would say Wale.
Wale, okay. I didn't see that coming.
Wale mad swaggy.
All right.
And see, you know, like with me, I don't really do a lot of fit watching when it comes down to the artists and stuff like that. I pick up their swag through their music. So I would definitely even his swag though. I would throw Dom Kennedy in there. Okay. Got a hell of a swag.
Nip, Wale, Dom. Those 3. Nip, Wale, and Dom.
You said top 3 or you said top 5?
I said 5. But it sounds like you don't even know 5.
I mean,
you got 5?
I mean, Ross not really in my era, but he low-key in my era.
Yeah. He's transcended the time.
Yeah, Ross is swaggy.
I give you that. Ross is swaggy.
Ross
especially
swaggy.
For a big dude.
Yeah.
Who really got skinny. Ross is skinny now. You seen Ross? Ross is skinny now. And he got hair.
Yeah, no, Ross got hair. He got a fade, matter of fact.
I'm not sure if it's... I think it's a unit. I think Ross has a unit.
I wouldn't knock it.
I would think Ross has a unit.
I wouldn't second guess that at all. I think Ross probably do got a unit. Curly top on the top.
You think that's cool?
Yeah. Because you can't, like, when you see it, it ain't like, that's a unit, bro.
Right.
When I seen him on Superfly, it was fly.
I didn't see him on Superfly.
Nah, he had a cold little part. He was on some drug dealing type, like he a boss type.
Oh, yeah?
And he had his same lingo that you would think he was talking real. He was on that on the Superfly. Big facts.
So,
Wale, Nip,
Dom, Ross, one more.
You know who fly I do mess with though? When I see him, I be like, bro, he is swaggy. Offset from the Migos. He is swaggy. He from the South.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Ross from Miami. Nip, Dom, Wale from Washington, which is still West.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we got a little West, we got a little South Beach, we got a little Atlanta swag. You know what I mean? And out of the Migos, I think Takeoff is the most like designer down, which is more European. Quavo more, he on the European side. Offset do keep it still, you know what I'm saying? A little cultural when it come down to the swag. So I'll throw Offset in there.
I'll run that. Sound like some swaggy guys.
Some cool. Was you able to come up with a 5 though?
I didn't really think about a 5, but right off the dribble, I'd say the group of individuals that had the most impact on my style when I was coming up was BBD. BBD made it cool to like be whatever you wanted to be in fashion. Like it wasn't no guidelines.
Boundaries.
It was like you could wear a suit coat with basketball shorts and Timberlands.
If you could pull it off.
Yeah, if you could, like, whether they was doing stuff that was just totally out of nowhere. They came out of nowhere with this style. So BBD was one of the first, I would say. Another swaggy individual was always Nas. I always tried to take a little bit of Nas flavor. You know what I'm saying? And 2, another cat that was super swaggy back in the day, was more mature with his situation, Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah.
Kane was like, he was just an adult. You know what I mean? Like, he always came off like with suits and these little 2-piece yada outfits, yadas. So BBD, Nas, Kane, Kanye. Kanye was always swaggy, always came. You know what I mean?
Kanye definitely.
He pushed the boundaries on some MC.
Definitely. Fashion tip. For sure.
Who else would I say was super swaggy out there? I would give it to Heavy D.
Heavy D. Over Jay-Z.
I didn't really take Jay-Z as a super swaggy guy.
I mean, he was hella influential when it came down to his swag and like, all right, we all own jerseys.
I mean, but it wasn't like you saw Jay-Z and was like, oh, he fresh. Like, I never remember saying like, oh, he just swagged out to look at Jay. Like, look at that fit. Look at that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He just had the influence. He said we wearing button-down shirts, and then all of a sudden, everybody was in button-down shirts. Everybody was in, you know what I mean? And I think that's the power of the industry. Like, you see it on TV, more than likely, the masses are rocking it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Usher came through with the suit, jacket, and the jeans, and that was a look forever. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Those are my guys right there.
Okay. And this my thing though. So it's easier to digest a suit jacket, basketball shorts, and Timberlands over skinny jeans and a handbag. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's now you're going somewhat gender crossing. You know, in looks that were specifically and originally for women.
I mean, in the European world, the handbag is for men. It was made for men in the European world.
But I mean, we taking it a bit far. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm just saying from where I came from, like that look was predominantly for women. And there was an old school era of, like, there's a difference between costume, performance look, and everyday, this how I get down look. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, some of the entertainers wore these electrifying outfits. You know what I'm saying?
But they were costumes.
They were costumes. You wouldn't see Rick James pretty much.
Nah. Rick James wasn't at the crib in his heels?
I don't think so.
In his individuals?
Maybe Prince. But Rick James, I think Rick James wore sneakers at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Had his hair. He took the ponytail out, all that.
That's funny.
That's the truth, though.
You want to take a break real quick?
No.
No?
Let's keep it rocking, man. We'll talk about Stockton. Stockton had his playoff game.
Yeah.
Won the game.
Yeah.
I was told he had 6 touchdowns. Come to find out he had 3. Still amazing.
Facts.
17 touchdowns on the season.
Facts.
He is burning up out there.
Wearing number 55.
I think here's the only problem with when you start to enter, because one of my biggest problems was putting him into sports too early without him understanding you have to be a student athlete. So now that he's kind of really going hard in football, his grades are slipping a little bit. And I think that happens with a lot of athletes. Like, it's hard to balance being a student and an athlete because you get so caught up in just wanting to play. You know what I'm saying? So how do you advise somebody in being more of a student and an athlete, or do you?
Yeah, most definitely, because I mean the whole end result is to obtain a bag. That's the end result. And so once you understand there's necessities that you have to be great at in order to achieve this goal, it makes it a whole lot easier to understand why I'm going to school. It makes it a whole lot easier to understand why I'm doing the things that I'm doing in the classroom, because I know it's a monumental thing that has to be accomplished in order for me to be able to get to the next level. Now, once I have that ideology, it's easy for me to get in the classroom and act like this the football field, because I know in order to be who I need to be on the football field, I got to be who I need to be in this classroom. But if it's just like I can make it off of football without the understanding that it goes hand in hand, and once you get out of high school, it makes an easy transition once you're a qualifier. Once these certain terminologies start being put into a youngin's mind, and he start understanding what things are and how the road goes, and this is the road, this is exactly how you get there, these are the things you got to do, and make it easy. But when it's just like, you can't be a football player without school, it's like, bro, that don't make sense. Because in basketball, they do it like this. In baseball, it ain't about all them other sports. In this particular sport, it's a formula. And if you want to get to where you want to go, quick, easy, no hassles, this is the way you do it.
Classroom.
And the faster you get done with this classroom, the faster you move on to the next level.
So that's the goal. Because I think a lot of times with our youth, man, we spend a lot of times, I think, selling them this dream of, at the end of football, there is a bag.
But see, the thing is, at this point, like with me personally, when I was coming up in the football realm, there wasn't a formula.
What do you mean?
There wasn't a formula that was being taught to the athletes by the overall, like even my high school coaches wasn't like, bro, this is the formula. Like, yeah, my Pop Warner coaches told me a little bit, but it wasn't like, bro, here's each year's formula to get you to the last year. It's a legit formula to get into where you want to go. And it's different. It's different ways, and I've seen it happen. I've seen, like, a person come into JUCO, play one semester, and go to where they want to go. Now, I've seen people go from high school to where they want to go. I've seen people do it in all type of different ways, and the only thing that stopped them from getting to where they wanted to go, which is the bag, is minute decisions that they wasn't prepped for.
How important do you think decision making is in this process, even as a kid? Like, how do you you know what I mean, come up with how to make the right decisions as a kid? Like, it's like playing.
Well, see, the thing is, if you have somebody that's already been in that arena, then they have the ability to give you, like, all right, when you get to this crossroad, this is the scenario you're going to be in. Now, at the end of the day, you're going to have to make your decision, but this is the decision I made. This is where I got.
And does it work the same for everybody? Because I know a lot of people have applied some of the same techniques and you get different results. Because you might be at a different school, you got a different coach, you got a different different counselor who sets things up different for you. Like, you know what I mean?
This is the thing. I know the formula. I don't care what the counselor's talking about. I don't care what they're talking about. Yeah, they're going to put their input and all that, but if it's not going in direct line with the formula for you personally, and if we have the same scenario, it's easier to coach you. If we have the same scenario, you're a great football player in a situation where you can really excel, and all you have to do is these minute steps, really, to get you to the next level. That's all it is. And understanding, like, you're in a great position. All you got to do is follow these direct steps, and you'll get to where you want to go. But with that, especially what we have to offer with the trade and this, that, and the third, you still have to learn the trade and all of that. That's not a question. Once you get into school, you're going to be doing this trade, and you're going to see why this trade is so, like, necessary. But other than that, like, the trade, that's going to be in there regardless. But as far as we have a opportunity to have a youngin potentially go to this place, and if he don't, he has a trade. Period. So why not shoot for the stars?
You should shoot for the stars and shoot for the moon, they say. And if you miss, you will be amongst the stars. Shout out Stockton, man. You're doing a great job. I'm very proud of you. You have to focus on school as well. That is very important. We got some bigger news to announce. We was on a show. I can't really say much about it until it air. But we lost. We lost. And that was an interesting, just an interesting little moment, man, to see everything come about, see him be drilled, kind of fold under pressure. You know what I'm saying? It was a wonderful piece of TV. It will be airing very soon. But I think we should take a break and come back and talk about the meat and potatoes. A lot of people were wondering why Zion is not here.
Mouzy Wowzy.
Shout out Mouzy Wowzy, man.
Love
we
you, man.
miss you, brother.
Yes, indeed.
You know, it don't feel the same without you.
It don't.
It's just two kings now.
And hopefully you watch it, man. We miss you, man.
And so we're going to take a quick break, come back, and today's topic is parenting styles. What is your style of parenting? How effective are you? And, you know, how important it is to understand your style of parenting. We'll be right back, 3.5 Kings. Talk to you in a second.
Ready to blow, motherfucker. We are ready to burn this motherfucker down. 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 Woo! I'm ready to blow the motherfucker up. I'm ready to blow the motherfucker up. I'm ready to blow the motherfucker up. Double cups, no dirt stripes. Would you like we had to fight? Ready to burn the motherfucker down. Damn. Ready to burn the motherfucker down. Damn. I'm ready to burn the motherfucker down. To the ground, to the ground, to the ground, to the ground. Riot gear with the tear gas. Tanks on the streets like Vietnam. 911 think you got a bomb. Dogs biting, police sniping, rolling through with them firearms. Clear the streets, clear the streets, clear the streets, nigga, you been warned. They say it ain't gonna be no retaliation. Nah, Beyonce police got the real formation. Nigga, welcome to my Americana. Bandanas tied on the face, better close your eyes, some niggas spraying mace. You ever got wet with a fire hose? You ever got wet with a fire hose? You ever got wet with a fire hose? Gun you down right in front of the bros. Arrest them niggas, you know how this goes. I'm ready to blow the motherfucker up. I'm ready to blow the motherfucker up.
That is one interesting song. That came from, I was watching a clip of a riot, and they were revolting.
Right.
And it was right around the time Trump was coming into office, and that was the sentiment of all of the people. They are ready to burn America down because of the racist and inequality that has been shown. So that's what that song was about. But today is what's your parenting style? Right. And this past weekend, Mouzy and I got into somewhat of an disagreement, and it was a result of my parenting style. And a lot of times as a parent, I guess you're only as good a parent as your parents. You know what I mean? A lot of times the things that you implement, your styles, is because of the things that you've seen, experienced, and, you know. So there's a psychology that was established some time ago about parenting styles. There were 3 parenting styles. I'm going to read them to you, and I want you to tell me, what do you think is my style? One is permissive. You're cool and easygoing and love to give your kids a long leash, but sometimes your relaxed parenting style can get you into trouble. That's permissive. Number 2, authoritative. Some people say you're too hard on your kids. Some say you're too lenient. We say you're the perfect balance of permissive and authoritative. Authoritarian. You're a no-nonsense kind of parent. It's your way or the highway. Your kids know not to misbehave, at least when you're watching. Out of those 3 styles, what would you say is the my style of parenting? Permissive, authoritative, or authoritarian?
I think it could be a little bit of all at particular times. I think the level that you go with being authoritative, that's the word? Authoritative. Could be a little excessive sometimes. But I think you know, in certain scenarios, you demonstrate all 3. You know what I mean? I don't think you're one. of those three?
I would say it. So what you're saying is I'm number 2. That's a balance of permissive and authoritarian. That's what this is right here. Authoritarian,
not a balance.
It's not a balance.
I wouldn't say you're balanced.
I didn't say equally balanced, but there's. I'm just reading from. So this is what I'm getting. I'm not too permissive, and I'm not too much authoritarian. The authoritative is kind of like a blend of both of those.
I'm saying in some scenarios, you're cool. In some scenarios, you're over authoritative.
Okay.
In some scenarios, you cool with the, with your authority and all that. But and it it differs in certain scenarios. You know what I mean? I've seen scenarios where, like, dang, Pops, like, for sure. I seen the Pops in this scenario. Some scenarios, like, what?
What do you mean? Like what? Like what are you talking about?
Like
you don't know what you're talking about?
It's not
Dad?
You don't know what you're talking about, but it's just that as your sons that have 23 years in experience, 18 years in experience, sometimes you get at us as if we're 15, 16. And that gives us the, and it could be based on how you view us or whatever the case may be, but sometimes you throw us off and some of your parenting skills and the way that you handle scenarios.
I could say, reflecting on this past weekend, I could say that I definitely, like we talked last night, you made a point that you can't really coach everybody the same way. And that's a very important point. And it makes me like say, okay, I'm now being challenged as a teacher to get through to a different student at a different way. And the bulldog, because I was only taught really like 2 ways: fear and intimidation. That was the 2 things that most ring in my upbringing. There was never like a super support group or a helpline or anything. It was like I was raised by an iron fist, kind of. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times that's one of the styles that most parents go to. Like at the end of the day, I will whoop your ass. Like I don't know what else to say or do to get through to you. So, like I'm just starting to understand that. And 2, even as a parent, and no matter how old your kids are, they're always looking at you as the example. So you can't say, do as I say and not as I do, even to an adult, because they're still looking at you like, well, I'm really just, not so much want to be like you or trying to be like you, but it's really happening. So, you know what I mean? I'm constantly watching some of the things you do, and that sometimes can prohibit a kid from following your directions because they like, you know what? Well, you're not even that. And a lot of times, even in parenting, it's like, I'm not trying to make you like me. There are things about me, even as a person, that I don't want to transfer to you. I could tell you, do something different. You can look at me and say, well, you're not doing that, but we're not talking about me. You know what I mean? At 44 years old, we're talking about at someone 18, someone 23. Don't mimic some of the mistakes that I've made and continue to make. Don't implement these in your life. And when I see it, I do get overly passionate because I'm very protective of you and, your futures. And a lot of times, like, you just hone over your kid. I don't care how old to you are, you still like my baby. You know what I'm saying? I always look at you like my baby. And when I and not that you're a baby anymore, but I still feel 100% responsible for what happens to y'all and how it happens. So when I see certain things or I even hear certain ideas come out your mouth, it's like, this is totally wrong. And I don't know how to sometimes come across, like I can be very judgmental. These are things that I've realized about myself in the past couple of days. I'm very judgmental. Even though I don't want to be, I am very judgmental. I have a sincere lack of trust. Once I feel like you lie to me about little things, I start to think everything is a lie. So I start to scrutinize everything because I need it to make sense so I can get to a point of truth where we can really understand the entirety of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but what got you like that though?
Probably experience and
your
who
own?
I was. You know what I mean? And the things that I did. And a lot of times I got myself in situations that I didn't understand I was getting into, just getting into them.
But what you have to take in consideration is that, like, at 23, and when you were at 23, at 18, and when you was at 18, we're way better, further than you were. And as far as, like, our...
In what sense? What do you mean by that?
I mean that it was a lot of things that you entertain that we don't entertain.
Like what?
Like flocking. Like...
I never flocked.
Not flocking. What's it called? Racking.
Okay.
Having kids. And anything else that going into the club at 18 with your 23-year-old homies, being in these scenarios.
I wouldn't say that is like. That makes you guys better. I would say it actually makes you less experienced. And when I was 18...
Less experienced in those areas.
But
more experienced in a lot of other areas.
Like what?
Like, I think Zion's way more intellectual than you were at 18.
Why would you say that?
You wouldn't say that?
No.
Because we have conversations with him right now that be having both of us stumped in some scenarios.
Stumped in the sense that
he has information. Like, until you gotta understand, we have more information at 18, 23 than y'all did. So when the OGs told y'all certain things, y'all couldn't go and look it up and go see if it was a fact and say, hey, bro, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. I see it right here. That's not it. Just like when you're saying about the Obama thing, woo, woo. At your age,
that's real minute. I think
it's still a perspective. Yeah, that scenario that I'm giving you is minute, but at the end of the day, the perspective is humongous.
But I couldn't say that it was about you guys being, or even Zion being more intellectual, because back when I was 18, it was a more intellectual environment. It was things like, it was about do the knowledge, and it wasn't about hit a button.
That's not where I'm trying to go. Where I'm trying to go is just that the fact that a lot of things that, just like you said, trust, and the other, it was based off of your experiences as a shorty. What I'm saying is the experiences that you had as a shorty doesn't really, because when you start taking that and you put it into our scenarios, it really makes us look at you like, bro, huh? Like, what? I think he wasn't in the booth. I think that was a lie. I'm basing my whole integration on the simple fact that I think you weren't in the booth.
No, that is not it. That's not it.
I think that's the lie. The lie is you wasn't in the booth.
The lie, it wasn't about, so in retrospect, the scenario was Zion broke curfew. And we made a situation of it. I was like, yo, man, we just had this discussion, and one of the most important things is you doing two simple things: cleaning the kitchen and not breaking curfew. So for me, there is no reason why you can break curfew. There is no excuse for it. This is something that I'm not bending on, because these are the two simple rules that I've given you. There is no reason why you can break curfew. There's no like legitimate explanation. There's nothing you can say. And when the whole situation took place, it was like, it's not about where you were and what you were doing. It's about you broke curfew.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Before we even get into all of that, is it true that the only two people Zion hang out with is his father and his big brother, and the only place that the only place that he's majority of his time is spent is at his father's house and at the barbershop?
Yes.
Okay. So just as, as his big brother, because when he's not with you, he's with me.
Right.
And the only time he has curfew is when he's with me. Because he's not going to be out by himself with it. He's not doing that.
He's
not with his homies. He's not with some friends. He's not none of that. He's with me.
Okay.
So just as a father, he has a 12:30 curfew at 18 with his big brother.
Right. That's the rule.
That's just because you just want him to have
just need him to be 18, not 23. And a lot of times when you, like, for example, like I'm telling, like, it's the same scenario.
But
like
this
you
is my
were saying.
question to you.
Okay, go ahead.
Why do you think that he would be 23 and not 18?
Just like you were just telling me, bro. My big homie was about 23, and it was him taking me to the clubs, to these different situations, all of these environments that were pretty much for 23-year-olds. And at 18, I was allowed to tag along and indulge in the environment. And a lot of times, like for me, that led to getting somebody pregnant. That led to me using drugs, smoking weed, getting drunk in these environments. Now, a lot of times, it may not happen the first couple times, but as you get more comfortable in these environments and you get more experience, you feel like you can go off on the edge a little bit. And I don't want that for my 18-year-old son. So my thing is, I have to put certain parameters around what you do and how you do it. Yeah, you with your brother, but your brother's 23. You can't be in your brother's lane.
So you think that as his brother, you don't think that when he's with me, I'm not somewhat of a parent to him?
Yeah, somewhat. And I'm not looking for you to parent him. I just need you to encourage him to keep the rules that are set before him and never allow him to question, like, well, you with me, so it's okay. And then for you not to even like get at me and say, well, Dad, he with me. I know he got curfew. He with me. He's solid. This where we at. This what we doing. Nobody get at me like that. Then it's not like that. I can only go by the things that are said before me. And like we was talking about, he sent me a text that I'm in the studio with Mel. I'll be home later. That's not acceptable. And I'm about to break my curfew. There's no details in that. That didn't even say to me, I'm about to break my curfew.
Let's keep in context that he's only been out with me twice, right? The first time was Tyler's birthday party. We ultimately didn't think you would have an issue with that. So you did have an issue with that. Y'all had a conversation about the curfew. I wasn't aware of the exact time and all that. The second time,
we had this conversation on the show as well.
Yeah, but I don't remember. I didn't take that, and that's a whole nother boom. At the end of the day, he's only been with me twice, right? And
each time he's broken curfew.
The first time, nobody thought you would feel the way you felt. Period.
But it did come. He had a curfew and he broke it.
I wasn't in the loop.
Okay, so now that you're in the loop that he has a curfew.
Now, at this point.
Like, you didn't know before? Like, now, like when he broke curfew? Yeah. You didn't know he had a curfew?
Yeah, but it
didn't matter.
No, it's not that it didn't matter. To him, it was 1 o'clock.
But even at 1 o'clock, he came in the house at 1:30.
When we left the studio, we had Malik run out of gas, and we had to go help him.
Okay, I didn't get a phone call.
And that's where he has to deal with that. Nobody's denying the fact that if you break curfew or if you move outside of the boundaries, you're going to have to deal with that. So nobody's arguing that or nothing. Nobody's even had nobody would never have an issue with that. If these are the rules that's set before you, you break these rules, you got to deal with it. Period.
So is it a level of like, okay, because at the end of the day, nobody knows what the punishment is going to be.
The only
nobody
thing
knows
that
what
Zion
the
did
backlash
wrong
is going to be.
The only thing that Zion did wrong in the scenario was break curfew.
No.
And you said not communicate. But communication is a two-way street.
This is where Zion went wrong, and this is where I became upset. I said, it's 12:30, right? You've missed curfew. Don't come home. Okay? Don't respond, and don't come home. This is now, since because a lot of times it becomes like you're being an adult. Not to you. I'm speaking as a father. I've told you, be home by 12:30. You're not here by 12:30. At 12:35, I say, you know what? Don't come home. Don't respond. Don't come home.
How clear you think you made the be home at 12:30?
Very clear. We've already had the conversation. This is your curfew.
In his mind, it wasn't clear. How did that miscommunication happen? Who's to say? But he was not operating in, I have a 12:30 curfew.
Okay.
Hey, bro.
I have a 1 o'clock.
The reason why he was late was because we were way out in Montebello. We were way far. And Malik ran out of gas.
Bro.
That's
so
a
what?
fact.
So what? Nobody called. That's a very big thing. Nobody
that's fine.
This is what I'm saying. Like,
that's fine. But how he didn't call? Get on him about not calling. He was 30 minutes late. Get on him about being 30 minutes late. That's
I'm
cool.
on him about, because now it becomes.
But to say, hey bro, now you're doing this. Hey bro, now you're doing that. Hey bro, now this what you on. Hey, now you trying to be 23.
Now I can start to put, like, everything becomes a certain dot on a picture. And I'm looking at the person that I believe Zion came down here as, and the person that he's evolving to very fast. And it has to do with the environments that he's in.
And when we was talking, I told you, was like, hey bro, I feel like I gave Zion, or I give y'all the luxury to be able to talk to me, right?
Yes.
And to have a clear, open. And what I was trying to get you to understand is that that's not how they feel. So the person that you say you thought Zion was a virgin, not having sex.
That's
Zion
because Zion lied to me, because
because he didn't feel like it's just a kid. It's bro. When my pops asked me, "Are you a virgin?" I look at him and I say, "Yeah, I'm a virgin." And he says, "I know you're a virgin. I know you're a virgin, because if you wasn't a virgin, you'd be walking with your chest up." And he say, "Clearly don't know me."
Right.
You clearly don't know me.
And how do I know you if you don't tell me who? If I say, "Are you a virgin?" and you say, "No, I'm not a virgin,"
I don't feel comfortable.
I can't.
I don't feel comfortable based on your parenting skills and based on how you are as a pops.
Not true.
Regardless if you want to adhere to it or not, I have conversations with these dudes, and I've been in their seat. I was the first one in the seat. I'm trying to give you the game I'm trying to give you the cheat code. Now, whether you want to hear it or not, or adhere to it, or look at yourself in the mirror, that's on you.
I've looked at myself in the mirror.
So I've been trying to tell you, like, look, bro, they don't feel comfortable.
And I'm saying to you, a lot of times, that isn't always about
the parent.
Yeah, sometimes it's about the kid and doing something that you're not supposed to be doing, and not just like, for example, in this basic scenario, right? Like, you not communicating with me, doing something that you say is solid. Like, I'm at a legitimate place, doing something constructive, this, that, and the third, and you don't. I say, you know what? Don't come home. It's 12:30. You don't look at that and say, wait, hold on. Let me just call and say, hey, no, it's not like that. This is where I'm at. I'm in Montebello. I'm about to record my first song, X, Y, and Z. Now, you not reaching out to me and saying that is because of your maturity level. Not because if you call, that's going to get you in trouble. It seems like you're already in trouble.
No, the scenario is what he thought was the best decision is I'm going to hurry up and wrap this up, and I'm going to get home and I'm going to talk to him. That's what he thought was the best scenario. If you don't think that was the best scenario and that was mature,
and like
then
I said,
he could do better.
And that was based on too him saying, I consulted with the people in the room, and this is the advice I got.
No, just like I told you on the phone when you first said that. Regardless of what he said, I'm gonna tell you what happened.
And now I'm telling you, as a parent, when I'm listening to all the entirety of the story, and even that is implemented, now I'm looking at the scenario way different. Because I'm like, you're around some adults, and this is what they told you to do? Not call? And just show up after I told you, don't show up, stay with them? The people around you counseled you in this manner?
Said, go home and go talk to your pops.
That's not what he said.
Go home and go talk to your pops.
That's not what I was told.
Go home and go talk to your pops.
That's not what I was told.
That's what happened, though.
But here's what I'm saying. He lied to me. Now, I don't know what part is a lie, but as a wise man, I'm listening to the entirety of the story, and now I'm picking out the lie. So to me, the lie was I was in the studio recording, and not I was counseled by these people. All I know, there was a lie in this thing, because it didn't happen.
It's just as a kid trying to make it make sense to your pops,
Bam,
you did it the wrong way.
Say it again.
As a kid, yeah, don't get it twisted.
That's all I'm saying.
Don't get it twisted. At 18, you're still a kid.
Right.
You still need you still got to have somebody. Like, as 18, you can go to jail and serve adult time.
Yes, you can.
You could go do that.
Yes, you
can.
But
at the same token, you still do need somebody to, like, hey, bro, you smoking? What you smoking? How you rolling it? What are you using? What are these different things? Like, who even got you into this? If you gonna do this is how you supposed to do it the right way. This is how you supposed to do this the right way. This is how you supposed to do this the right way.
Or this is not what you're supposed to be doing right now. This is not what you out here for. This is because that's important. That's very important. Now you're dibbling in something that you shouldn't really be involved in right now. This is not the.
It's gonna happen.
Just like you said, if
he was going to college.
Just like you said, dude. There's a formula to every path, and even in something as simple as smoking weed at 18 or 17 or 16.
16, 17 is different than I'm trying it for the first time at 18. Okay. That's commendable.
No,
that is. You went through whole high school without your big brother, without your pops, and you didn't try these different things.
I don't see that as like a huge thing.
I do, because I know these young cats at 15, 14.
I know young cats too, bro. What are you talking about?
They doing it. So if you
Not everybody is doing it.
Nah, because Zion's one of them that wasn't doing it.
Right, until he really came down here. Now he's really doing it. Why? Yes. We have to say that. Now he's really doing it. He wasn't really doing it.
The only thing he's doing is smoking weed. That's
a lot.
It. That's it.
And that's why I have a problem.
You're a lot to you. It's not a lot in reality.
What?
It's not a lot in reality. He's not smoking 3-4 blunts a day. He's not on that. He's not on that. He's not on that.
Bro.
He's not on that.
This is where we're kind of having a problem. This is what you're teaching him.
It's not that. It's not what I'm teaching him.
It is, because you're like the guy telling him it's okay to do that. It's okay to be like this, and I'm saying it's absolutely not okay. No. And you're contradicting me by saying no, it's cool.
No. I'm saying be up at 9 o'clock, be to work.
I don't care about none of that.
But you have to take all of that into consideration, because you're making it as if I'm just saying, bro, smoke weed. It's cool. I don't care what Pa's saying. Smoke weed. No. When he's only been out with me from the shop twice out of 3 months. When
you say out, like out at night?
Yes.
Because he's been out with you from the shop. He done been to events with you and all kind of stuff.
Events? What?
The listening party. There's a few times.
What? Oh, my God.
I don't know what the scenario... Like I said, I'm not there. I can't say, brother.
Oh, my God. Nah, he's only been with me, 3 times. A listening party, Tyler's birthday party, and a studio recording session.
It doesn't matter if he break curfew, and don't say I'm about to break curfew.
But what I'm saying is,
you're saying like he's with me and I'm the adult. But I'm not even reaching out as the adult saying, "Hey, man, I got little bro with me."
I said, "Look,
and
bro,
he not gonna make it."
I said, "Did you talk to your father?"
I didn't.
He said, "Yes, I did." I said, "You told him where you at?" He said, "Yes." Cool. Then he said, "Hey, bro, 12:30. This is what he sent me. All right, finish it up. We out of here. We out of here."
But not calling.
No, go talk to him, because you ain't on nothing. You're not doing nothing that you ain't supposed to be doing.
And my thing is, why wouldn't it be like, call him right now, man?
Because I know how you are. You're not going to answer the phone. You're not going.
That's not true.
It is true.
No, it's
go
not,
home
bro.
and go talk to the man, because you ain't on nothing wrong, bro.
After I told him don't come home?
Go talk to the man.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Go talk to the man.
Listen to what I'm saying, though. I told him don't come home. And your advice was, I said, don't come home, stay with Mel. Your advice is, go home, talk to him.
Go talk to the man.
So do you see where even in that is a problem with me?
And becoming and
Here's a
growing
question.
up.
Here's a question. Do you see where that's a problem with me? You don't call, respond, nothing. You just show up after I told you don't come home?
And you got to rap with him. You got to rap with him.
And we rap.
And you got to deal with whatever come with that.
Well, the moral of the story is, Zion, I apologize because I can be in a little extreme. I am a very passionate person, and your well-being is very important to me. You know what I mean? I have to make some adjustments, and because you are a different kind of kid and you need to be approached in such a manner, at the end of the day, I do feel like I know what's best for you, and that's the only thing that's important, that, you know, what's best for you happens for you. So, you know, it's not that I don't want you with Melvin. I just want you to know that you can be out as late as Melvin. So whatever, if you ever, your curfew is 12:30. If you're ever in a situation where you think you're not going to make curfew, you have to at least call. This for all kids out there, man. Communication rules the nation. Once you're being very specific about what you're doing and who you are with your parent, it makes it easier for the parent to parent. But if I have to figure out who you are based on things that I think I see you doing and all of these different things, I may come up with the wrong analysis. But if you're not saying, hey, something very simple, very detailed, communication, very detailed
Is communication a two-way street, though?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, it is.
Because you didn't communicate with him.
I didn't have to.
You didn't respond with him.
I didn't have to. I'll be home late. Cool.
Not cool, bro. What does that mean?
I don't have to say what that means. You have to tell me what that means.
That was your perspective, though.
You have to tell me. I don't have to ask. You have to give me the details. You have to give the details. Not after the fact. You have to give the details while they're happening. That's important.
It's not, nobody's saying it's not important. It's just, if I see you not being detailed, I'm not going to say, hey, bro, put a little detail on that.
Or that's what your opinion is. But
I'm asking you.
I'm not going to say that all the time. All the time, you're not going to get that from me. Sometimes you might, but all the time.
But in me learning how to communicate with you, because I've never been with you every day. I've never been in a situation with you. This might be perfect for my mama, because I've been with my mama. I've only been with my mama. Now I'm with you. You're a different breed. So you tell me, hey, bro, that's not really communicating. This is how you. This is an example of communication.
We got to go, man. So that's what it is. Tune back in next Monday. 3.5 Kings, Mouzy Wowzy. We miss you, man. We see you soon. Peace. And that's
ready to blow, motherfucker. We are ready to burn this motherfucker down. 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 We are ready to burn this motherfucker down.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African-American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria. The African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.